I had a plan. Everything lined up perfectly. And then, boom! It all fell apart. You ever been there? Where life doesn't just throw a curveball, it totally annihilates and wrecks everything? Like it completely annihilated the game. Maybe a relationship, a job, or just a dream. And you were standing there left, all alone, asking, why, God, why? But if I told you that wasn't the end, that was the beginning. The wreck wasn't a failure. It was a redirection from God. And today, I want to show you why God's plan is always bigger than ours and better than ours, even when it doesn't make any sense. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons God's plan is bigger than our plan, or yours, or mine. Number 1, my plan versus God's plan. We're wired to think we know best. We build vision boards, we create goals, we have 5-year goals. And when things don't go our way, we fight it, we panic, and we question God. Why would you let this happen? Why would you let this happen to me? But here's the truth. We only see the little pieces, the small puzzle pieces, when in fact, God holds the masterpiece. See, Joseph, he had a dream. He had a vision. He saw himself ruling and leading. But instead of a throne, he got prison, slavery, and betrayal. And if he stopped there, he would have thought, God, why have you abandoned me? But years later, he saw it. He was placed exactly where he needed to be to save nations. God wasn't rejecting him. God was preparing him. Number 2, delay is not denial. Sometimes when God says not yet, we hear no, and we get frustrated. We think he's forgotten us. But let me ask you this. If you knew what was on the other side, would you still be frustrated? And would you still be in a rush to get there? Think about it. What if God's just protecting you? What if that business deal that failed was just God protecting you from stress, anxiety, and deep regret? What if that relationship that ended was just setting you up for something better, more love, something bigger in life? Just because you don't see it growing doesn't mean God's not working on it. It's kind of like happening behind the scenes. It's happening for you, not to you or at you. Number 3, trusting even when it doesn't make sense. Let's be real. Trusting God when things are the hardest is the hardest time to trust God. But that's exactly when it matters most. For example, think about someone who lost everything and later found their true calling, or a personal moment of yours when it seemed like everything was crumbling, everything was falling apart, and you look back and you see how it was just God connecting the dots. You see how God was aligning everything perfect for you. I remember a time when I thought my plan was perfect, and I pushed and I shoved. It was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and everything crumbled, and the peg never fit. And at that point, I had to make a choice. I either stay frustrated or I let go and I surrender to the bigger effort, to God's plan. And all of a sudden, that square peg and that round hole started to fit better. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means stepping in to something bigger, something better, and allowing God to control the show. So in closing, we look at the bigger picture. And here's the question. What if your greatest disappointment is actually your biggest setup? What if failure is actually the doorway? What if the thing you're fighting so hard to fix is supposed to be left behind so that God can lead you somewhere better? His plan is actually better. It's actually bigger than anything you can think or dream, but you won't see it unless you trust in him. So today I challenge you, release the grip you have on your plan. Step into God's plan and watch the change and what happens to you when you follow his plan. See, resistance is pain, and the more you hang on, the more struggle you have. And the moment you stop resisting is the moment you start living. So if this message spoke to you and you can think of someone that might need to hear it, please share it. And if you had a moment in your life where God's plan surprised you, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Tell me your God's plan story. Also, I'm helping eager and ambitious people to become the best versions of themselves in all areas of their life. If you're ready to grow and step into your full potential, I have something special for you. My new ebook is coming. And if you comment book below, I'll be happy to put you on my pre-launch list, and you could be one of the first to receive it. Thank you, and keep practicing God's plan. You won't regret it. Thanks!